Thank you. April is National Autism Awareness Month, and locally we have a lot of specific programs for parents and kids dealing with autism. This morning, Dr. Brian Wolf, clinical child psychologist, along with Jen Wilger, executive director of Temple Grandin School in Boulder. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Wolf, let's start with you real quick. Where are we in the number of kids diagnosed with autism here in Colorado and nationally? Are we seeing an increase?
We are seeing an increase. The latest data from the CDC show that between 2006 and 2008, there's been an increase nationwide, at least with 14 representative sites, of 23% in the increase in prevalence. In Colorado, it seems to be about 60%.
So are there certain signs that parents should look for?
Yes, absolutely. So kids as young as 18 months or 24 months, you can look for the characteristic problems that come with autism, the social deficits, communication, and then the rigid and repetitive and unusual sorts of behaviors. So if children aren't responding to their name, or if they're not pointing when they're trying to communicate, certainly speech delay and other language issues also come into play.
What's the latest as far as research? What's new with that?
Yeah, you know, in terms of the treatment of autism and related conditions, the evidence base is pretty clear that a combination of services seems to be best. A really good focus at school in the educational setting on the kinds of particular functional impacts that the kids' disorders have on them in the school setting, as well as for some kids they require what's called applied behavior analysis support or some intensive behavioral supports to learn basic life skills and daily kinds of skills and speech and language skills. And then a variety of psychotherapy, speech and language therapy, occupational therapy for more support. And
talking about, you know, support and also programs in schools out there, Jen, there's a lot of programs in schools here in Colorado I don't think a lot of people know about. Tell us about Temple Grandin School in Boulder.
Yeah, Temple Grandin School is a new program we just started this year, and we are serving kids in grades 6 through 12 with Asperger's syndrome and similar learning profiles. So sort of the higher end of the autism spectrum, but one where kids often are challenged by having certain strengths but certain weaknesses that can really hang them up if they aren't addressed.
What would you say would be the biggest misconception when it comes to kids dealing with autism?
I think the biggest misconception is to kind of picture kids with autism in one certain way. So autism is a spectrum. It's a very large spectrum, and kids can be anywhere from nonverbal with low intelligence all the way up to really super high, almost genius intelligence. And so even within that higher end of the spectrum, there is a range. So it's a big spectrum.
I think that's where you guys come in as far as different levels and different programs cater to different kids.
Yes.
We're just out of time, so thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. For more information on Temple Grandin School, you can go to our website, thedenverchannel.com. Click on that big red TV button. We'll have a link there. Also, you'll find contact information for Dr. Wolf from Wolf Child Psychology there as well. Thank you both for being here today. So we have